Hello and welcome. It is yours truly, Sugikon here once again, and today we're gonna continue with our beloved MOBA reviews. And this time we have this game called Heroes Evolved. And sometimes these random MOBA games just fall under my lap. I literally find them from Google by just searching MOBA or new MOBA, so that type of keywords, and they randomly just appear on the search, okay? When I scroll through the 20 pages of Google or something like that. And this is one of those games that has no videos on YouTube. Nobody is writing about it on any of the websites. The publisher never heard about them. The developer never heard about them either. And these are just totally random games. And going back to, what Heroes Evolved is and all that, I hate it when people say statements like League of Legends is a Dota copy, Paragon is a Smite copy, Downgate is a League of Legends copy. This copy thing seems to pre-exist in this whole Dota market, and it's fucking autistic, guys. If you do that, you're autistic, okay? And better go to doctor or something. And it's really annoying because it's not like people say like, oh, Battlefield is a Call of Duty copy. When you do a game in a genre, there's gonna be fucking similarities, okay? That doesn't mean it's a fucking clone, right? There's no logic in that fucking statement, right? There's no logic. But when we have actual clones, there was this one game that I did a review about. I'm gonna link it because I don't remember its name anymore, but it was a huge copy because they actually copied assets from League of Legends and Dota in one game. It was really horrible. It was absolutely horrible game, by the way. And this is actually a real copy, okay? So the stages on the map are pretty much the almost identical copy with Dota's map, okay? But the art style of the map reminds me of Summoner's Rift, okay? Bit more, less green, I would say, but it reminds me of a combination of the two. It uses the agility, intelligence, strength system, which is taken from Dota. It also uses attribute bonus. A lot of the fucking skill names are taken from fucking Dota. A lot of the designs also, the designs are horrible in this sense because they have these anime characters, then they have these, lizards and creatures and robots. They don't blend it with each other. Also the art style, the splash arts and all that, they are like, they don't fit with each other. Artistically the game is just a fucking mess. Then it has of course these, typical Asian, systems where you have the login bonus, so if you come back every day you will get some loot and all that shit. Then of course it sells skins and stuff. I don't know where the servers are, but I played with over 100 ping. I had 120 ping, so that would assume California or perhaps Chicago would be perhaps the server location. So if you're from Europe, you probably want to avoid the game. Unless you're from UK, you might get like a good ping, but in terms of the ping, the game was pretty horrible. The sounds weren't that bad, the graphics weren't that bad, but a lot of, as I probably when you play these Chinese games, when they translate the Chinese text, they always use these fucking terrible fonts on the games. The Chinese do this too, and it's just absolutely, mind-boggling game. And then they have, two maps on the game. You have the ARAM map, and it's pretty much a copy-paste of the Holding Abyss from League of Legends. It has all the same systems, and it doesn't have but it reminds more of Dota because you have the teleport ability, which is pretty much the teleport scroll. The inventory style is taken from League of Legends. So I guess, it's kind of like if League of Legends and Dota would have a baby, it would be something like fucking this. But this is just absolutely horrendous when it comes to originality because all of the fucking abilities are so fucking bland. You have like AoE damage spell, online target spells. Then you have like, I don't remember the Dota character's name, but the guy the black chick with golden armor, which has the ability to challenge the person in duel, and then she gets like strength and stats if she wins the duel, and if she loses, she loses stats. And this guy that I played on this game had the exact same fucking ability. And then he had this attack speed steroids ability, which I think also the one on Dota has too. And it just like the sheer copying of the game, this is a game that you should be calling a fucking copy. And I don't really recommend playing this game, but if you're really into from something new and like the mixture of those two games, maybe you want to give it a shot. Also, the launcher is very, very small, and in terms of like the file size, so the game doesn't take much space from your PC, which is kind of cool. But it doesn't really allow you to optimize the graphics at all. I don't think the graphics are that good looking for today's age, and I've already talked about this many times, that especially like games like these are never gonna make it out, and they're just gonna lose the player base at one point. People are going back to League of Legends or Dota, and this is how the market works. I mean, Battle Right, for instance, that's a game that's probably gonna have its niche market, because BLC never really lost its player base. They kind of went to Battle Right, and people who previously played Bloodline Champions and quitted probably are coming back to Battle Right now as well. And it's just a totally different game, of course, and it's kind of refreshing because it's an arena game. But this game, I mean, even the fucking name, okay? Heroes Evolved? How generic can you go? I mean, you have Heroes of New Earth, you have Arena of Heroes, you have Heroes of the Storm, was there something else? Heroes of Avalon or something like that? There was like fucking million fucking games with the word heroes on it on this mobile market. And, you're gonna be more like, you have to come up with some original fucking shit for once. I mean, you can't really. Also, like the fucking designs and everything, like the towers look like they're from League of Legends, the crystals and stuff. That's so League of Legends like. But anyhow, that's just kind of my review about the game. Absolute copy, by the way. Everything is pretty much taken. Every like feature and mechanic are taken from League of Legends or Dota. And it doesn't really bring out anything new to the mixed. It did look really good on the trailers, but I think they kind of pumped it up graphics there. But when I went into the game, it looked significantly worse. But stay tuned for more mobile reviews. I have few coming up. We have another game that was actually announced on Twitch called Breakaway. It's a very interesting game, so look that up on the mobilemonster.com. I wrote an article. Well, not really wrote an article, I just copy-pasted some shit and video. So go there, guys, and subscribe, and keep all the faith. And in 8 days, the Battle Right winners will be announced and all that shit. So stay tuned for that. But until next time, stay tuned. Cheers.